Okay, welcome back. Now, in the previous chapter, we learned about the graph of a mathematical equation. Right, so for this chapter, we are going to continue with the following 5 objectives. Right, now objective number 1 is we are going to learn how to find the slope, right, when we have the line passing through 2 points. Okay, so how to find the slope for the line passing 2 points. Alright, so we are going to use the 2 points to find the slope. Now, the objective number 2 is to write the equation of a line, right, with the given point and the slope. Okay, objective number 3. Now, if we have the slope, right, the slope actually gives us some information. Right, the slope actually serves as the ratio or as a rate, right, in a real life application. So we are going to learn how to interpret the slope. When we have the value, what does the value tell us? Now, the objective number 4 is to sketch the graph of a linear equation. So objective number 4, we are going to deal with linear equations, right? And when we have this equation in a slope-intercept form, right, how to sketch the graph. Okay. Objective number 5, write equation of lines that are perpendicular or parallel to a given line. Okay, so when we have a line, okay, so let's say this is the L1. Now we want to know, right, how to write the equation for the line that parallel to L1. Alright, so this line is parallel. Alright, so and how to write the equation that is perpendicular. Right, the perpendicular, it means that the line is forming 90 degrees with L1. So this line is perpendicular. Now we are going to learn how to write the equation for the parallel line and also the perpendicular lines. So these are the 5 objectives that we are going to do in this chapter. Okay, so make sure that you come back and check this after we complete this. Now let's go on with the first one. Right, the first chapter, find the slope of a line. Okay, now when we are given 2 points, now let's say we have first point we label as x1, y1, and second point we label as x2, y2. So this is the first point, and this is the second point. All right, so now when we have the 2 points, how do we find the slope? Now the slope is actually defined as the difference of y over the difference of x. Now what is the difference of y? The difference of y refers to this one. Alright, so this is the difference of y. Okay, so the difference of y is actually the vertical differences. Alright, the vertical distance. Okay, so this is the vertical. Okay, vertical changes. And the difference of x refer to this one. This is the difference of x. So the difference of x refer to the changes in horizontal changes. Alright, so horizontal changes. Okay, so when we have the difference of y divided by the difference of x, we call this slope. Now, how to find the difference of y? To find the difference of y, so we can see here, we can use the y2 minus y1. Alright, so from here we get the difference of y. And how to get the difference of x? We can take the x2, right, the x2 here, minus the x1. Right, so we have the changes in x. Right, so from here, we can actually find the slope. Okay, so the triangle here, we read as delta. So this is a delta y and this is the delta x. Right, so the slope can be obtained by the delta y divided by the delta x, which show us the vertical changes divided by the horizontal changes. Now, bear in mind that it doesn't matter whether we use first point minus the second point or the second point minus the first point. Now, you can see here, if we take the second point minus the first point, right, so we can actually factorize the negative out. So when we take out the negative, okay, so it will become negative y1 minus y2, right? So if we multiply here, negative times y1, we get this. If we multiply here, negative times negative, we get positive y2, right? We get this one. So we factorize the negative out, we can change it to y1 minus y2. And if we factorize out the negative for the x, we will have x1 minus x2. And this two negative here, right, when divide, it become positive. So we will have the first point here, first point minus the second point. Now, what does that mean? It means that it doesn't matter whether you use which point minus which point, right? The important is you will just take one point minus the other point. All right, so it doesn't matter which order you subtract as long as you are consistent and both subtracted coordinates came from the same point. Okay, so this is y2, then here will be x2. If this is y1, then here must be x1. That's the meaning. Okay, now let's see some possible slope and the respective graph. Now, if the slope is positive, okay, so if you subtract these 2 points, you get a positive slope. Now, if the slope is positive, it means that the line rises from the left to right. So the line is increasing, right, going up. Now, if the slope is 0, now the 0 here, it means that the slope, it means that it's a 0y over, all right, the difference of x, 1. All right, so when the difference of y is 0, all right, so it means that no difference of y. Okay, so the line is a horizontal line. Now, when the line is, when the slope is negative, right, so the line is actually fall from the left to right. All right, it shows that they are actually in a negative relationship. Okay, so and if the M is undefined, so we have a vertical line. Now, when the M is undefined, right, it's because the X is 0. So any value divided by 0 is undefined. Now, when the X is 0, what does that mean? It means that the X is not changing. So you can see here the X is not changing. The X is 3. All right, the X is 3, the X is not changing. All right, so when the X is not changing, then it will be a vertical line. So this is the slope of the straight line, and for this objective we need to know how to find the slope of a straight line.